talked to him explicitly about programs to study retrieved ET technology and alien bodies. And as an aside or follow-up, I will just tell you, I think it was in late 2006, I wrote to Edgar and I said, you know, look, I've been tracking all of your statements on this, and you started talking about this at least not later than 1997. You mentioned it several times. And look, I said, I know you've said you like my work, you support what I do. Can you help me out here? Throw me a bone. I'm not asking you to give these people these sources up, but can you give me something to work with? And because, look, all I try to do is confirm and corroborate. Having anonymous sources really doesn't quite cut it. So what we need is something to work with. But I understood the problem, of course. He's got these anonymous sources. They don't want to give themselves up. And he wrote back and said, look, I do. I get what you're doing, Rich. But the people who came to me when they did so at great professional, personal risk, and he said, he wrote, risk to their families. And I cannot give them up, not until at least after they're no longer alive. And that's exactly what he said. I've got the email. Long story short, oh, and then Ben Rich, the man on to your far left, who a couple of times has made statements. He was the head of Lockheed's Skunk Works division, certainly one of the most prestigious aerospace aviation units in the world. Made several statements toward the end of his life about very suggestive of ET reality, most particularly toward the very end of his life in 1993. He gave a lecture at the UCLA School of Engineering, an alumni chat, basically starting off as a history of Skunk Works and the stealth fighter, and back to the U-2 spy plane and so forth. But then he ended it. This is a fascinating story. He ended it on this amazing statement where he says, we now have the technology to take ET home. And then he said, thank you very much, and that was the end. And you know, everyone's different. There are people who are intensely curious about the world, and there are people who do not have a curious bone in their body. So most of the people just filed out of the room after he makes this bombshell statement. Well, a few people stayed behind, surrounded him. One of these individuals is someone that I know quite well, Jan